What's up, everybody? Welcome to episode 170 of the Clever and Original Podcast. I am one of your hosts, Kayley Misialek. Alongside me, the man with a plan, Jayden Reinhart.
2 days and 9 years ago, Modern Warfare 2 came out.
Oh, really?
Oh.
That game's great.
Yeah.
I love that game.
November 10th, 9th.
Although
November 9th.
it's backwards compat,
Maybe
it's a
10th.
little buggy, but it's still kind of fun. Like, the back compat's a
And
little
2
buggy.
days and 9 years old, JJ Larson here.
Nah, I'm
Is that
older
accurate?
than that.
No. I don't know if that's the case.
Are you?
14 more years than that.
Nah.
yeah, more like, yeah, only 14 more years, like 6.
It's a long time. It's a very long time.
So if you haven't listened to us before, we are the Clever and Original Podcast. We talk about comic book movie type stuff, video game type stuff, particularly in that order.
We do.
Generally the order, yes.
Yeah.
One after the other.
So let's get on with some news, shall we?
What are the news?
The Walt Disney Company, as we have talked about for many episodes, is creating their own streaming service. It has been recently announced that it will be called Disney Plus.
You know what else had a plus behind it? Google Plus.
Oh, shit.
Which actually got shut down not that long
It did.
ago.
So
That's
Disney's
too bad.
like,
I
haha, let's use it.
actually met a bunch of people on Google Plus.
Google
That was-
Plus, yeah.
that was-
Yeah, I remember when it came out.
I met
was
a
just
lot
like,
of people
Hey,
on
this
Google
is
Plus,
kind of
actually.
cool. It's gonna defeat Facebook, and then totally does.
No, I mean the interface was bad and it was kind of clunky,
I
but
don't know. Some of the things were cool, like circles.
yeah, those were I like those a lot. The groups were really fun. I was in a bunch of those. I had a lot of fun in those. Met a lot of sad adults. Actually, that's basically what happened. A lot of really sad adults.
Sad people.
Yeah.
Let's do Google
Maybe that's why
Plus.
Google Plus died. Just a bunch of sad adults using it.
I mean, they were cool. They were just all like, whew. It was like a little much.
Speaking of which, I found that funny because in my social media class, my last semester of school, it was even there was like in the book, I think, and sometimes in the thing was how to advertise on Google Plus. Or how to do things on Google Plus, and it's
Nobody
this is
uses Google.
yeah, this is only a 2-year-old book.
Yeah, but
It's already dated.
such is the technological world we live in.
Before Discord, I used Skype. Ugh.
That sucked.
Do you remember Skype?
Yeah.
I had a Skype group.
It's so clunky.
Yeah.
So
Discord is
it was awful.
just easy,
Yeah.
you know?
mm-hmm.
Just it's
Pretty
rough to get flashbacks to Skype all of a sudden, all the connection issues and shittiness.
Yeah.
It's a bad time.
So yeah, Disney Plus, genius name.
It's awful. Why not oh no. Shit. I was gonna try to incorporate the first letter of their name, but I think the D channel would be pretty bad. I was just use the first letter, it'd be kinda cool. I was nope, can't do that.
Yeah, no, you wouldn't.
I see their predicament.
I don't, I'm sure they were Disney is a name that people can recognize.
What about WD?
So let's call it
WD.
Walt Disney.
That sounds a lot like
WB,
WB, though.
Their competitors.
Yeah. They don't want people to be watching WB.
Yeah. Anyway, Disney Plus is their streaming service.
Mm-hmm.
And it was confirmed by CEO Bob Iger during a quarterly earnings call that the Loki film is in development.
Wait, it's a
for
film?
Disney. Or sorry, television
Oh,
series.
okay. I was going to say, I thought it was a TV show. Yeah.
Which was first reported back in September, which we talked about with as well as a Scarlet Witch TV show, and Tom Hiddleston will return as Loki.
Joke's on them. I already got Hulu, which has Adult Swim. So I think I'm solid on streaming services right now.
Yeah, I think I'm fine as well.
Yeah, I want to
don't have
see
enough
this
content
show, but at the same time, I don't want to spend even more money on streaming services. Like I already pay for like Spotify, which includes Hulu,
Yep.
and then Netflix, and that's really all I need.
I mean, I'd rather like
And
I would-
YouTube's free.
I would before signing up for this probably get YouTube Red.
Yeah, I have YouTube Red.
Yeah.
How much is that? Also,
Uh,
terrible name, by the way.
I want to say
also.
$6.
Yeah, it sounds like RedTube. That's kind of what it like.
Yeah, it's pretty
Yeah.
bad. It's pretty.
$6 a month.
I think it's $5.99. I could be wrong.
Yeah, I would get that. I would get because like I
it's
like.
not because you support content creators
Yeah,
and
I
get
already
ad
use
free
that.
without
I-
like just blocking them.
Yeah, I already do ad block, but it's like
This
when
way
I'm
they, like,
using my
still get money.
phone
Or like Xbox or.
I'm not logged into mine. I have
that too on your phone,
I have
yeah.
a different YouTube for my
There's
TV.
probably an ad blocker you get on your phone. I'd imagine some plugin. No,
Yeah. Well, Safari kind of
Mm.
does ad blocking a little bit, but
Not
like
in
the YouTube app doesn't, of course, is
Right.
not going to
Obviously not.
Ad. And like that's watching YouTube on your phone, not using the app is like a fucking disaster. So
yeah, yeah. I don't know. I mean, it's cool that they're doing it. I guess I'm not all that interested in Disney Plus, but
yeah, I don't really care that much.
I think if a friend had Disney Plus,
I'd be like,
hey, let's watch Loki or something.
Vic, give me that password.
Yeah.
But I'm not gonna go out of my way and spend money for it. Yeah,
Mhm.
Same.
there's too much content. I mean, several episodes ago we went over all the content that we're trying to catch up on.
Yeah. I'm never
Yeah,
gonna
it's
catch
Movie
up.
wise
I am
and video
never
game wise,
catching up.
never.
There's just things I'm never
Well,
gonna watch.
yeah, it's just
or
gonna
play.
be like, okay,
Like-
well, I'm just not gonna do that.
Like I have Horizon Zero Dawn, for example,
Mm-hmm.
but there's a good chance I never played that.
Or didn't you say you've God of War, right?
Yeah.
Have you played that yet?
No. I mean, see, my predicament is I have a 4K TV, but
Yeah.
a normal PS4. So there's this part of me that's like I don't know if I can like justify playing this game unless I have a PS4 Pro. I'm like, it's gonna look kind of bad on this TV. I've seen like
it is like
because it doesn't upscale. I don't think. So.
it's weird. Like when I play an N64 game, I don't think about how bad the graphics are. It's just like, oh, the game's fun or whatever. But with modern games, if the graphics are bad, I get really upset.
It's like it's like look at
Like,
how
why
ugly this
you
is.
have all this technology? Like, you can't
Well,
excuse this.
I think it's like we were kids back then.
Yeah.
And so that stuff didn't
Yeah.
matter.
It's like, yeah,
Well, and that stuff
games,
ages
like-
pretty well. Like 8-bit stuff ages. Really
Yeah.
Oh,
well.
N64 stuff does not.
No,
though.
N64 stuff looks awful. Almost
Yeah.
every game looks bad.
Yeah,
They're like
and-
trying
and-
to be advanced.
And
they're
don't
weird
use it on an
polygons.
HD
Zelda doesn't
TV
look
or a 4K TV for that
Because
matter.
it'll just
Like it looks even worse.
You ever see Battlefront
Yeah,
2? Like OG Battlefront 2 on a big TV?
I haven't seen it on a big TV.
It looks horrible. It is horrific. Like I saw, like, cause like Alex would play it on a
Mhm.
PS2 on like a big TV, and it just looked like
Only then did you realize that the finger on his hand was 2 pixels. It's like, oh my god.
yeah. But
yeah.
good shit.
So yeah, I like that they're getting Tom Hiddleston back and everything, and
Oh yeah,
you know, he's great.
that'll get a lot of people to at least go check it out.
Oh, for sure.
Right. So yeah, Disney Plus. It's a thing.
It is.
I don't know.
It is a thing.
Like everybody's trying to be their own streaming service instead of like, hey, we should all just
Put all of our
on-
shit in one place.
Yeah, like Hulu or Netflix.
I just feel like similar to the situation with World of Warcraft and RPGs. Like when you have
so
one like one king, I guess, already, it's
Yeah.
really hard to like start competing.
Yeah, like we already have
Like
Netflix.
we have Netflix, which I would say is
it's the
the
biggest. Well, and
streaming
Amazon.
service.
Amazon kind of.
I mean, there's
is
Amazon
everyone.
Video, there's
I never
Hulu.
really think of Amazon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, because everyone who has like, every Prime subscriber has it technically,
Hmm.
and there's like a ridiculous amount of people who use Prime.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
But yeah, it's like that's kind of where I'm seeing this too. Like there's so many streaming services already. Or like Red Dead Redemption 2 comes out and then games like Fallout 76 just get like fucking
like who gives a shit about this?
Like I'm not playing this shitty beta. Yeah, fuck this. I'm just going to be a cowboy
bad, so.
Yeah. Or what game came out shortly before Assassin's Creed? Came out shortly before
everybody's already finished that too. Though, you know.
Yeah,
like it came out early enough to like everybody finished it. It's like great game, and then another good game.
Was it just like a story game?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's it. So
no like end game content or anything.
Not really. I mean, it's just running around doing shit in the world. I would think, kind of like all those third-person games nowadays.
Yeah. Yeah, it's cool. Disney's trying something, but personally, I think it's gonna just like get drowned out by all the other noise that is streaming.
Or like people will sign up to watch. It depends on what else is on.
I mean, Disney. Like the thing is, Disney is so great at like creating demand for stuff that shouldn't have it. Like, like look at the Vault thing, where they're like, "Hey, remember this old movie you liked, like Lady and the Tramp or like Little Mermaid or whatever? Well, we're not gonna sell it to you. We're not gonna sell it to you at all for years. Okay? Oh, well, now we're gonna sell it to you for a few months. Get it now, or else you're not gonna have it. Or else and then we're gonna say, nope, you can't buy it anymore."
It's weird though, because like other
companies did that multiple times with VHS, DVD, and Blu-ray. I'm pretty sure they've sold like the same exact movie to people like 3 or 4 times.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever bought one.
It's weird how Disney gets away with that, because most companies, when they try to make like a higher demand than they have supply, people just get pissed off that there's not enough. Like with
Nintendo's pretty good at it.
Well, wasn't it the Nintendo Classic or whatever? The NES Classic?
Yeah.
That like there was like way fewer than what like people wanted to spend.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
And people just get upset. Or like scalpers and like the DS special editions, you know?
Yeah.
Like it doesn't work out as well for Nintendo as it does for Disney. Like Disney, no one gets angry at Disney. There's like, fuck yeah,
Nintendo is also very good, but I think it's mainly just because they're like they have really good things that like no one else can really match, and so it makes it easier for them to like, for example, I don't think like a company like EA or like Warner Brothers could do that.
No.
Because like sure they've got a few recognizable things, like Warner Brothers has like Looney Tunes, some DC things, but there's nothing like, you know, like that is the Warner Brother band, because they've got like many different types of things. Disney is like, okay, you think of Disney, you think of like animated movies, like from when you were a kid.
Yeah, for sure.
Anyway, digression. So Disney will probably maybe do well. I don't know.
Possibly.
We'll see.
I suppose in the light of our conversation, they have the best shot.
Yeah.
Out of anyone else who could try.
Yeah. They'll probably end up all right.
All right, moving on. Speaking of Disney, they are pushing Oscars, Avengers Infinity War now, apparently. A couple weeks ago, we talked about Black Panther getting an Oscar push, and Infinity War was only getting one in Best Visual Effects. But it appears now that they are pushing them in 10 other categories, including Best Director, Best Adapted Screenplay, Best Film Editing, Cinematography, Production Design, Costume Design, Makeup and Hairstyling, Sound Mixing, Sound Editing, and Original Score. So it is not as up for as many as Black Panther, or at least that they're pushing for, like not Best Picture, for example. But interesting to see that Disney and Marvel are pushing for, you know, these Marvel films in Oscars, which they have never really done before. You know, it was like, okay, one thing with like Black Panther, but I don't know, maybe it's a little something more now with Infinity War. I don't know. What do you think this says about Disney, Marvel, and this whole Oscar
I mean,
bit?
I may be a bit one-sided because I don't get out and see a lot of new movies very often. But they, like Marvel, we already know that Marvel's been doing like really well compared to DC and just in general. So, I mean, if they're gonna win an Oscar for anything, their current stuff would probably be a good target for them to push like that. I don't know. I mean,
I don't know. Like, again, I think we've talked about this before, but you don't see action films really.
yeah, a lot of it's like drama.
I mean, some of the more notable ones are like Mad Max Fury Road.
Yeah.
Dark Knight, I think, got nominated for Best Picture as like a, okay, here, just go away. You got a nomination. Yeah, I mean, you don't really see these type of movies, or at least getting this push. Like, you know, you see like visual effects. That happens all the time, you know, but I think the last film to really have a shot at this was maybe Lord of the Rings.
Lord of the Rings, like, got a bunch, so.
Yeah, and I don't know. The way the Academy is, I don't see them doing that except for, like, you know, visual effects.
I can see that for sure. I'm just curious what sort of, like, how well this movie's gonna do Oscar wise. Like, I'm curious if because visual effects I could definitely see, but if it's gonna actually really be a contender for anything else.
Yeah, interesting. Best Director with Anthony and Joe Russo. Obviously they would share that. Should be interesting. I think like, you know, a big complaint with Infinity War was like people who haven't seen any Marvel films before aren't gonna know, aren't gonna have like fun or know what's going on.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, I could see that definitely being like, yep, this is why I should not get like best adapted screenplay or, you know, etc.
Yeah, I could see that. 'Cause it's kind of like you definitely need knowledge of other films in order for it to really make a lot of sense.
I mean, that's most of their audience, right? Like fans of comic books, superheroes, that kind of thing. You don't see people just jumping in midway and as often, I guess. It's a little easier now that they're doing a bunch of new heroes all the time, but
yeah, I'm sure there's, you know, people who haven't seen every film.
Yeah, if you haven't seen all of them, it's fine. But
well, even if you haven't seen any of them,
you need at least a few to see Infinity War and kind of know what's going on.
Otherwise, you wouldn't be attached to the characters at all. You know, like you'd kind of learn about them in the first half of the movie, maybe. But
I mean, it starts with spoilers for Infinity War, Loki dying.
Yeah. So if you don't know who that is, that whole scene means nothing to you.
Yeah, it's just some guy getting killed.
Yeah, like what the hell is this? Why?
And then, you know, they like throw Thor, I don't even think they mention his name.
No, they don't.
See, this guy just gets thrown out.
Yeah. It's
and they like fall into Doctor Strange's thing, and then just like
who you don't know.
Yeah.
But he's like weird and he makes portals.
And he goes to the portal and he's like, "Hey, I'm Doctor Strange."
Oh yeah.
Or like, "I need you to," and just like whatever.
Then you pull out your
phone.
And
then
you
Bruce
Google Doctor
Banner
Strange.
comes out and he's just like, "Oh, this is important, but who are they? Who's Robert Downey Jr. playing, and who's this Bruce Banner guy?"
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you'd be Googling a lot of stuff if you hadn't seen any of the previous movies for sure. So that's definitely... Maybe that's why movies don't go more than a trilogy most of the time. Or at least like a specific storyline. Because the first movie you can jump right in because it's introducing people. But generally the second and third movie of a trilogy assumes you've seen the previous.
Yeah. Or
and so it kind of diminishes in a viewer count as it goes on, you know?
Well, I mean, I think it's just like I don't know. It's very hard to get a franchise that goes longer than 3 films.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Because it's like a peak, you know.
I mean, even Star Wars that has more than that, they're like different stories.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, like, I mean, Mission Impossible is on like 5 or 6 now.
Yeah.
You got Fast and the Furious, you know.
That's less story and
Marvel,
more like
Avengers.
fast driving and explosions.
Sure.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm
there's
sure
not that
people-
many like story-based things
that have that long.
yeah.
Yeah.
And you could argue the same thing with Marvel stuff.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So yeah, it should be interesting to see.
Let's see what happens.
Moving on. Deadpool 2 or wait, is it Deadpool or
And it's Deadpool 2 or
yeah, I think it's Deadpool. One of the two.
one of the Deadpools.
Yeah, I think it's Deadpool 2. Is getting re-released in PG-13, and we've talked about this before, but now it's getting an official title, and we know more about it. It will be called Once Upon a Deadpool, and will be in theaters around the country for 12 days, starting December 12th and run through Christmas Eve. And it's has been showcasing Deadpool kind of like in the situation as like the Princess Bride with
The grandfather, or was it a grandfather?
yeah, the grandfather's telling the story, except that's Deadpool now.
And it's the
It's the same
actor
actor
who played the kid, but he's way older. Yeah.
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 So
That's pretty.
should be interesting to see how that plays out. But yeah, so 12 days only, you get a chance to see a Deadpool 2, maybe 1, I don't know, in PG-13.
That sounds like.
Jeez.
Eh.
I mean, I guess I don't know.
It depends on how they change it, right? Like, it could be like funny based on like how they censor it and everything, and like maybe they're doing more like fourth wall breaking and everything.
What if he walks into his apartment when there's like the blood and corpses everywhere, but it's just a ton of censor bars, like everywhere. He like steps over a censor bar maybe because he's fourth walling it.
Yeah, I mean, it could be. I'm interested to see how different it's gonna be from the original.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean they'll have to cut out a lot of the gore, right? Like it's kind of.
And that's a lot of them, because a lot of the best parts of the movie is like the fighting scenes, it's like stabbing people and throwing them against billboards and whatever. I don't know.
Yeah.
But we'll see.
Yeah, it's also kind of weird. Like, what's their target audience? Because if you've seen this in
Middle
rated R, you
schoolers?
probably don't want to watch. I guess,
It
but
might be
People who can't see it in rated R.
Yeah, kids.
is it gonna be?
teenagers.
Is it re-released in theaters or is it
Yeah,
just?
theaters.
Okay. Okay, I guess then. Still kind of weird. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean it is pretty weird, I think.
Yep.
They'd be like, "Oh, we want to make a Saw movie for middle schoolers, so we're gonna re-release the entire Saw series in PG-13, no blood." It's kind of what it feels like.
I
That would be
guess.
fucking
Like
weird.
when blood and swearing is like your main dig. It's weird to just cut all that out.
I mean, they made like what? I think James Gunn made that PG porn.
Yeah.
So like, I mean, it's just. I mean, obviously, it was for a different reason than why you would watch porn.
Right.
But, and it's really all about how you do it, I think. So we'll see.
Yeah.
That does it for the movie type stuff this week. Let's get on to some video game type stuff this week. The PlayStation Classic emulator, or PlayStation Classic, I guess, is running on a PlayStation emulator that's open source.
Yes. Yeah.
Well, the emulator existed,
Mm-hmm.
and the PlayStation Classic is just using it.
Yeah, it's just like a downloaded. It's just ROMs.
Yeah.
On like a little emulator.
Like a free thing. You can just get. It's one of those things like like when people mod Skyrim so much it's almost a second game.
Yeah.
But you can't make people pay for it because of copyright laws and whatever. It's like the same thing with the emulator, where it's a PlayStation essentially, like all the code and everything, but they can't make you pay for it because it's
Copyright.
But then PlayStation just used that.
Yeah, kind of amusing.
Yeah.
Like, why?
I don't know, like I've heard, like I looked into the PlayStation Classic, and it just doesn't seem.
It's very underwhelming.
It's like $100 for like.
Well,
I don't know, nothing that excites me.
and that was already like a thing, right? Like, even if they didn't use the emulator code, like that was already a thing in the back of everyone's minds. Like, oh, I can get this thing with like 20 games, or I could just emulate them all. But now they're like giving me more reason to not get it because it is an emulator.
Yeah, it's just like on my phone, or well, not my phone really.
That'd be like if there are two storefronts, one giving out free candy, the other one making you spend like $10.
You could probably play PlayStation games on your phone.
It'd be a little harder.
Of the Old Republic.
Yeah, there are emulators on your phone.
Yeah,
I played Mario Kart 64 on my phone.
Well, it's like easier for Android shit because like you can actually like get stuff on there a little easier. But
yeah, it's just seems kind of silly now. I mean, I don't know. PlayStation likes to try to do what other people are already doing, and then they fail miserably.
Yeah,
like that's kind of their track record.
It's like
I mean, I don't know, like the NES Classic and stuff. We talked about it. I think I said back then, like I don't get why you would do it and not just like I would rather just play it on my Switch if it were possible.
Yeah,
like a virtual console thing, or like use an emulator, right?
Yeah,
I didn't get it back then, and like this is just a worse version of that.
Yeah, it's just everything about that, but not as more expensive and not as interesting.
If you sold it for cheap, you could like stocking stuffer it.
It was like $20.
It
feels
feels
like $20. Yeah, get it for your kid.
You know what it
make him shut
like?
up for a few hours. Like
it feels like those arcade things that you plug into your TV.
Yeah, the plug and play.
Galaga.
Yeah,
those are like $20.
Yeah, that's what if they did that, they would have sold way more. People wouldn't have hated them as much. But $100.
Yeah,
it's just ridiculous.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know what they're thinking.
I don't know. Capitalize on that.
Nintendo did it, and it was So let's do it too. It'll work out great.
And be even more
Maximum
Let's go max then out.
Well, and they didn't even like. What about like Castlevania? You could have did that shit. That's not on the list.
Is Final Fantasy not on there too?
I don't think so. There's a lot. The list looks thrown together. Like they Googled like best PlayStation games.
Crash
and just put
Bandicoot and Spyro are not on there.
Yeah.
No, they're not. Well, I mean, of course, like they don't own that shit.
Well, that's right.
Yeah.
But they don't own some of these games. I don't know exactly, but I'm pretty sure there's some third party.
Yeah, there's some that they don't own on there. But
and it's like those games are like the icons of the PlayStation.
Yeah. But I mean, we have remasters of Crash, of 3 Crash games and 3 Spyro games.
They don't have Tomb Raider on there, do they?
No.
What the fuck?
Not.
Why not?
Because the people who own Tomb Raider are probably like, no, like we're not gonna put that on there.
That'd be great.
Like fuck you,
Or like Metal Gear. Metal Gear's not on there, right?
I don't think so.
What the fuck? They chose all the wrong games.
They just chose what they could get. It seems like.
Yeah.
Whatever they could put on there for like nothing, and then
It really does feel like it was a slow day, and 2 dudes, John and Jacob, were just like walking around the office, obviously not doing anything. And the boss is like, and Jingleheimer Schmidt, and the boss is like, make yourself busy. And so during that one single day, they threw together the PlayStation Classic.
People always shout, "There goes John, Jacob, Jingleheimer Schmidt."
I hate it so much.
I really just feel like 2 guys threw together in a day.
It's just they're just sitting there like
they're like, boss, sell it for $100.
It's like, all right, we're gonna put these games on there. They'll buy
it.
Yeah.
All right.
I don't feel like it's gonna happen though.
People will
buy it.
It's just
it's like gonna be like
it's one of the worst $100 like value propositions I've ever seen.
But I think because it's $100,
it's
gonna, instead of being a stocking stuffer for like $20, it's gonna be a privileged person stocking stuffer. Meaning
then
that
even
it's still
then
just
it's
like a small gift, but it's $100. And
It's like,
the parents are like, I'm a doctor, and
But-
your mom's
but-
also a doctor, so we can afford this as a
like,
stock.
But I
like,
can
oh,
play
great,
Fortnite
thanks.
over here. I
Yeah,
can play
yeah.
Metal Gear Solid on my computer for free.
Oh, sure, the kid won't touch it, but they'll buy it still.
Yeah.
For their kid.
It's like I could play any of these games somewhere else.
Like, Mom, Dad, I already have all these games on the actual PlayStation. I'm like, oh, well.
Oh, well, I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know what you kids are into. Throws it away.
It feels like people who are nostalgic but are too lazy to actually find the games.
I mean, I guess emulators
I don't know.
are work.
Or people who are like, I like PlayStation so much, I'm just going to get everything PlayStation.
Yeah, there's not that many of those people though.
It is weird.
They exist.
They
but
do exist.
It is weird. 'Cause I'm in a Discord group, and we play games with lots of mods. I'll use Gary's mod as an example because that's an obvious choice.
Yeah.
And we're like, like 3 or 4 of us playing around or whatever. One guy's like, oh, God, can I join? He's like, yeah, you got to download this stuff. And they're like, it's like, it's one file. Takes 30 seconds to fucking download, you piece of shit. And people still don't want to do it. And I feel like that maybe is their only selling point.
It's like,
Do you want an emulator but don't want to spend any time downloading these files that take 30 seconds? Spend $100. Like,
Yeah.
and people will do it. They will 100% do
Or
it.
they could just, have the PS4 emulate this stuff if they knew what they were doing.
Yeah.
That'd have been way better.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Exactly.
Xbox figured it
Virtual-
out.
Yeah.
Like, I don't see why PlayStation can't
Yeah.
figure it
Mhm.
out.
It's a little silly.
Anyway, so yeah, speaking of Xbox, actually, they had their
Segue.
XO event in Mexico City.
They did.
They announced some things, things that are coming out, like I guess backwards compatibility for Final Fantasy games, and they also we had talked about this a while ago, but keyboard and mouse support will be coming out next week on Fortnite on Xbox One. In addition to that, they bought 2 new studios, both RPG makers in Exile and
Mhm.
Obsidian.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that was about all the big stuff that happened at that
Yeah.
conference.
And then they announced some games for Games Pass.
Oh yeah,
They said it's going to be $1 a month for new people this month.
Mm-hmm.
And then they also are doing a Black Friday thing with Xbox One X where it's going to be $399.
How much is it normally? It's
$100
normally
cheaper.
$4.99. So.
Okay.
So yeah, I mean, if you don't have one, and you want one, it's nice. So like I
Mhm.
would get it.
Yeah. I don't know. It's I'm more concerned with mouse and keyboard support, how that's going to affect console gamers.
I mean, I don't know. I
It's
mean,
like a
I don't-
game
Is there
by
going to be
game.
like an opt-in, opt-out option?
It's like a game by game.
It's
like
a game by
developers get
game
to
thing.
choose sort
Like
of
Yeah.
I don't think it's gonna be too bad.
Well, any
whatever.
single player
Like,
game, it doesn't matter.
Sure, there might be some advantage, but whatever. To be honest, I don't really care.
Well, I think controllers have more of an advantage if
Dude,
depending on the game. Like Red Dead Redemption 2, for example. Obviously, I'm playing on a controller because it's only on console right now.
Well, like
you hit LT,
yeah,
it locks on. You
Well,
hold
yeah,
LT, it follows them.
yeah. I mean,
Like no work for me. I hold a button.
Well, that's like GTA games. In general. Like
I mean, that's kinda
Rockstar-ish
Rockstar's thing,
game.
right.
Yeah.
But even so, like, you need auto aim for a controller because it's not an accurate piece of hardware with the joysticks. But that auto aim gives a slight advantage over people who, like, let's say, are inexperienced and have a mouse and keyboard.
Yeah. I mean, it depends on the game too.
Right.
But it'll be like that. That'll be nice because
I mean,
I could at some point have like a desk with my computer and my Xbox. I could have everything kind of together if I
Yeah.
wanted to.
yeah. But going on that thing, I don't think people will care that much, and the people who do care are gonna figure it out. Like they'll just play mouse and keyboard or whatever,
Whichever one's the best.
Yeah, like
they'll figure it out.
like and the people who don't care are just not gonna care. I'm gonna be one of those people where I don't care.
Mm-hmm. I don't really care either, but I see that group already forming.
Yeah. People.
Anti-mouse and
I don't
keyboard.
know, like
anonymous.
PC gaming versus console gaming.
Yeah, right. It's
It's
thing,
just as
guess.
bad as like Xbox versus PlayStation, or Nintendo, or whatever.
Nintendo's kind of in its own little place,
Yeah.
It's not even really competing.
Ever
to
since
be
like
honest.
the Sega stuff, they're just like in their own little world.
Yeah, they just
over
do their
here.
own thing, and everyone's like, huh.
They're like, we're everyone's second console.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. That's cool and stuff.
But yeah, interesting stuff. They're really pushing new IP, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, also, I guess Hellblade Setsuna's Chronic or whatever.
They're the developer.
Yeah. Well, no, I mean,
That's
that gets coming to Xbox One.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So for people who didn't play it because it was on PS4,
I think
it's
on
coming
PC
into Game
already.
Pass.
Yeah, it's on Steam, I think.
Okay.
Oh, it's coming to
Um,
Game Pass. Nice. I'll play it then.
Sweet,
Um,
yeah.
I've been wanting to play that game. So.
Yeah, so that's cool.
Mhm.
Yeah, and Xbox is really pushing like new studios for like the next generation.
Mhm. That's kind of
They
seems like
bought,
what they're.
6 new studios
Yeah,
over
they're
the.
like setting up right now. It's
Yeah.
kind of what it seems like. Like Obsidian, especially. I think they're probably gonna try to. I would guess they're gonna make like a big ass RPG, and they're
Yeah.
making Fable.
Yeah,
Different studio.
In
but-
Exile, Playground Games,
Yeah.
Ninja Theory.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm interested to see how this all pans out.
Mhm.
So that does it for the news this week. Let's get on to the juice. So, games that are really popular, that they
Super
are like
popular.
the only thing out.
Yeah.
The #1 streamed game on Twitch, for example. I don't know what that would be right now.
I could check like right
It's
now,
probably
like live.
League.
Probably
It's
League.
either League or Fortnite,
Fortnite.
probably. Let me check what it is right now. It also depends who's streaming.
Yeah,
of
yeah.
course, because there's
the,
like
the top 5 spots
you,
switch
you
around.
get some big ones, but
Oh, yeah, one guy comes online and all of a sudden a different game is... Like Dr. Disrespect, I know, is a big one for Battle Royale.
Fortnite?
Well, Fortnite,
just
PUBG,
PUBG, oh,
Black
okay.
Ops, yeah. I've seen him play all of
Sure.
them, but generally just
Oh, right.
Battle
Black
Royale.
Ops has that. Everything has that now,
Yeah.
right?
yeah.
Black Ops.
Assassin's Creed Battle Royale.
Like I said, I want Spider-Man Battle Royale.
That would be sick.
Like I tucked myself into it. It was sarcastic and a joke, but now I actually want it.
There could be an unlockable character, the Spider-Man from the Venture Bros universe, where he actually has like 8 eyes and he shoots web out of his ass.
Yeah.
That'd be pretty wild. Just saying.
He has like a hole.
Well,
in
like
his
you don't
suit.
even need 100 people or whatever. You could just be like, here's like 20 different spider people.
Yeah,
Go web each other to walls.
that'd be cool. Like respawn or whatever, so it's the equivalent of 100, but 20 people, each person gets 5 lives. Something like that.
Is that Battle Royale then?
I don't know.
It's fucking
What's
almost
the-
200,000 people watching Fortnite right now.
Fortnite. Okay, yeah.
For some reason, it's not. It isn't putting it in order of watch, so I had to kind of look.
Ah,
Looks like it's Fortnite, League of Legends, then Red Dead 2's up there a bit
Oh, yeah.
with 10,000.
Mm-hmm.
Hearthstone is quite a few. World of Warcraft is quite a few. Yeah, there's actually a lot more games like that have a fuck ton of viewers than I thought. Black Ops 4 is like 60K. So
Yeah, some new games.
yeah,
I mean, that's definitely...
But yeah, like games that are like the game, like that's the only thing that seems to be on everybody's mind.
yeah.
Like Fortnite has been for I think the past year.
About.
Mhm.
And
It's
then what was that, PUBG last year?
Probably. I mean, Battle Royale's been kind of like the thing.
Right, for the past 2 years.
Yeah.
Like League of Legends, Overwatch seem to be the two other ones that are past that.
Mm-hmm.
But like, I think I mentioned, before we came on, like, I don't think this really happened that much in the past, or at least it doesn't feel like it.
I
Like,
think,
I mean, like, you had mentioned like World of Warcraft, like maybe
StarCraft.
I don't know, maybe Halo 2. I mean,
Halo
it
2
was
really
big.
popular.
It
Halo
was
2
big,
was big.
But I mean, talking about Twitch, like I think that's the main player in this, right? In this equation.
It's one of them.
Because when you see thousands or hundreds of thousands of people watching a game, you're suddenly interested in that. So just by being big, it draws in more people.
Yeah, it draws in people, and it's like you're thinking about it more often.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you watch somebody play the game, so you play the game too,
Mm-hmm.
So Twitch definitely helps keep those games staying like up there.
And we didn't really have numbers before, did we? Like you just pulled out your phone and looked up a viewer count to know about how many interested people there are at this moment in time.
Yeah.
But that wasn't a thing.
Yeah.
Before,
in the
really.
past.
You couldn't how many people are playing Halo 2 right now? You get like a general number from the loading screen maybe, but
yeah,
it wasn't like a quantifiable thing. It was easily quantifiable.
Yeah. I feel like it's... Okay, I think I'm starting to see a trend now into why things are like huge. And it seems to be like things that change the industry in some way.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Like World of Warcraft was like one of the first big MMOs, right? Yet Halo 2 was like the first like online multiplayer like shooter. Or like
for
console.
For consoles, yeah.
One of the,
That's what I mean. Obviously it wasn't.
Which is why Counter-Strike is big, because that's one of the mainstays for PC shooters.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then you got things like Overwatch was like one of the first hero shooters.
Well, I mean, there's
or
been
like
a bunch.
It made it popular, though.
It was it's like I guess I should say like it's like the peak of the wave, I should say, right?
Yeah, because we had Team Fortress 2 before that, but
yeah.
Other than that.
But and then you got MOBAs like League
of Legends, Dota.
Mm-hmm.
Although Dota's not nearly as popular as League.
I guess that is the thing though. Like when you split it into specific genres like that, you can't really name two that are in the same genre.
You can, but usually one is far and above.
Or there's a difference. Like
Yeah.
if you do like Counter-Strike Global Offensive versus Overwatch. Like the difference is like
hero
versus loadout.
Yeah.
Well,
and there's like other FPS, like Siege is really popular.
Yeah.
Rainbow Six Siege, but that's like
a tactical.
It's like a totally different game.
Like I never saw that as like a game that like took over. Like,
that was more of a
cultural
slow
mindset.
That was more of a slow burn sort of game.
I
feel like it got more popular over time.
Maybe Destiny.
Kind of. I don't know. Did people still play Destiny very much?
No.
I don't know. I did when it first.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess maybe not.
If there's like people watching Destiny right now.
I mean, Halo used to be that thing, right? Like.
Yeah.
Like that was the only exclusive like Xbox had, and that made Xbox competitive.
Yeah.
Right? Like.
It was Halo 2. It's pretty sick.
But.
Yeah, I guess that's just whichever game like popularizes that particular genre or platform or what have you.
Yeah.
Like Mario.
Yeah. Mario's like
all the way back to
the basics. Mario's still big, right? Like it's like you think of platformers, you think of Mario, and it's like kind of, because like it's the one that
I mean, there are other platforms like Recore, for example, but you don't think of that one because that one didn't build any kind of popularity. Yeah.
Well, I think it also has to do with I don't know how early you are.
Mm-hmm. That too, like into generations almost.
Mm-hmm.
So when I was growing up, the big platformers. I mean, I knew about Mario; it existed, but the big platformers were Crash Bandicoot and Spyro, and those were more pertinent and relevant at the time for me. But
yeah,
it's kind of interesting.
Yeah.
All right. I think that's it, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Looks like that does it for us on this episode of the Clever and Original Podcast. Jay, if people want to find you on the social media sphere, where can they do that?
Want to come find me and spoil games for me? Come find me on Twitter, Jayden Reinhart.
And JJ, where can people find you?
Twitter, Larson107.
And you can find me at Kayley Misialek. You can find us all at Clever_Original on Twitter. And as you are right now, listen to us each and every week on SoundCloud, iTunes, and other podcast services. And we'll catch you next week on episode 171.